in 5 days. Their doctors, their cardiologists took them off the heart transplant list, took them off of 27 prescription drugs and said they're completely cured. And they had 3 different heart diseases, including congestive heart failure, just by supplementing with vitamins.
It's incredible. Ted Anderson's dad's Alzheimer's reversed. They tested the blood and said, you can't eat leafy vegetables, or where are you getting this vitamin K? He was getting it from Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And the doctor said take him off of it, and his dad went back into Alzheimer's because, you know, they do what the doctors say. And Ted's authorized me to tell that story. Totally blew Ted away. That's when he really got behind your products. People can find them all discounted right now at InfoWarsTeam.com. There's also a phone number there on the side if you have any questions or want to join the business team and be a distributor, 877-551-1301. Dr. Wallach will be joining us tonight on the Nightly News. We'll talk more about it with him then. All right, I completely spun out of control today.
Let me tell you why. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too.
Dealing with the IRS now over my so-called health care. With penalties and interest, the insurance companies. I'm going to do a report on the news tonight about it. And then that way tomorrow I'll have it all stacked up in here where it's all over the news from the insurance companies that they went in and wrote the health care plan. And now their stocks are all exploding. That's CNBC, Associated Press, Daily Mail. And I had that caller call earlier. It makes me so angry. And with satisfaction say I was wrong. I'm so sick of it. I'm tired of it. Now I know I've had Tim and the Watcher and everybody holding patiently. I'm going to get to all of you. In fact, I even had Wallach scheduled longer, but I want to go to your calls. So he'll be on the news tonight. We appreciate him joining us. But speaking of that, since I already had this right here, this is not product placement, but it is. I was about to make myself a Beyond Tangy Tangerine during the break and then ran out of time. You can notice we're out of spoons, too. We had some metal ones around there, some little bisphenol A fork here, linked to brain damage in a new study that's out. Oh, here it is. Bisphenol A exposure linked to brain tumor diagnosis. And it's a bunch of big scientific studies and breaks all down where they're from. You can just look that up. And that you're much more likely to have brain tumors. Well, really, why do you think? Why do you think it's exploding? Destroys your fertility. It's an endocrine disruptor. Side issue. I doubt this is bisphenol A, though. It's just certain types of plastics. The point that I'm trying to get at here is that I wouldn't be promoting Beyond Tangy Tangerine and Pollen Burst if I didn't believe in it. In fact, I turn down every week people that want me to endorse products. I mean, I turn down a lot of them. And other radio hosts don't do that I know of. I mean, I later hear them endorsing stuff that I refuse to endorse. Like sometimes I end up hearing the ads running on my show and I didn't endorse it. But whatever, it's not my voice endorsing it, that's fine. This stuff is powerful. My mother is a triathlete, and she has been able to reverse. In fact, she's willing to do a testimonial. She believes in it so much, and she is very private. In fact, I'm going to get around to doing that. I've been so busy I haven't. Aaron Dykes, you've seen what's happened with him. Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Pollen Burst is incredible. In fact, I like to mix the two. That's what I'm going to go to your calls. I like doing a half scoop or 1 scoop. You're supposed to do 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. But I like it so much, I just drink more of it, but just take half dosages. And then they've got Pollen Burst that comes in single packs. I'm talking to the makers of it. I like it so much about coming out with a can of it. Well, I'm not talking about it. We're already doing it with my face and name on it. I like it so much, and I want it in a can. I want it in a container. These little packets are good on the road, but I don't know. Anyways, the point is, these little babies with all the different B vitamins and all the minerals and all of the antioxidants and all the little goodies that are in it. It's all available at InfoWarsTeam.com, and you can sign up there and get free shipping on the site. We've got some specials there. You sign up for auto ship, and your purchase makes the transmission possible. See, we're not funded by the Rockefellers and people like good old PBS, and good old PBS isn't that bad compared to NPR. NPR is really bad. I call that the double trouble right there. Tangy Tangerine, Beyond Tangy Tangerine with pollen burst. Double trouble. Of course, that's not available in stores, but sorry. I've got so much more energy now instead of just drinking coffee, taking those pollen bursts. So InfoWarsTeam.com if you want to go there and sign up or become a distributor. You can pay like $10 and then get discounts on the products. It's like a Costco card or something. So InfoWarsTeam.com. Okay, enough of that. I have decided that I'm going to even go to the next level because I don't want to get into this healthcare system. I have had a hernia for 13 years and will not go get it fixed because I hate the MD healthcare system so much. Yeah, you break your leg, they can do a great job. But there's so many mistakes, so many flesh-eating bacteria. One of my children's friends' fathers, 40-something years old, went in to get surgery done on a pinched nerve in his back, and an infection killed him a week later. I can't tell you how many family members, how many friends I've had that were as strong as a horse and went in to have toe surgery or old football injury worked on. Dead. Every week I hear about somebody dying from an infection in the hospital. So, you know what? I got this hernia, and let me tell you, over the years, it's gotten bigger. And I went into the doctor about 3 years ago, medical doctor, and then I went and checked with another doctor as well. And they said, no, that's a peritoneum, you know, the one where it's the bag that holds in your heart and your lungs and all that, at my belly button. It's not an intestinal or hernia of the gut. And they said, you need to lose 70 pounds. Well, I lost 40-something, and I need to lose another 20 or 30 before it gets too big. But side issue, that's how much I don't like the system. And I've got, because I love food so much, I've just got to continue exercising. And I'm going to lose the rest of it. I kind of hit that threshold point, and I've just got to remember to take my longevity products, and I'm going to do it. But this is what we face. I mean, I went in to I had my leg broken and had to have surgery because the bone was cocked out on the side. Didn't come out of the skin, but it wasn't technically a compound fracture, but it was about to be. And they almost killed me. 9 times they tested my blood, came in, had the head of the hospital there, brought in the family doctor and going, yeah, you don't have any heroin in your system and there's no alcohol or drugs. And they looked at me and they said, we've never seen anything like it. 9 times the amount to keep you under. Do you remember waking up and assaulting people? And I vaguely do, yes. They had to tie me down on the bed. So I'm not going under the knife. I mean, or I'm going to have special testing done or something. And then they had the IV in me that night. It came out. There was blood all over me. And then I got an infection. This was a nice hospital in Rowlett, Texas by Dallas. So I don't know why I'm going off into that story. It's just the nightmare. The nightmare of having to go under IRS banker-controlled health care, because that's what this is. This is what they do everywhere. This is the globalists running your health care completely, and in your bank account and in your medical records, it is hellish. And again, if you're a new listener, you're like, what does heroin have to do with waking up on the operating table? Because normally you'd have to be a total drug addict, you know, who's got the liver, you know, that's been trained to not have opiates not knock you out. I'm the opposite. A few times, well, they tried to give me pills when I left for pain, and I would throw up when I took them. The point is, opiates and Alex Jones do not mix. Never liked them. I remember one time I had a shoulder dislocated, and I tried some kind of opiate pill. Oh, my gosh. Talk about side issue. I don't want anything to do with the mainline medical system. Nothing. Just last week, one of the children that my daughter plays with and is friends with for several years, who I'd met her dad out at sporting events and stuff, he dead. Went to the hospital. My friend, my childhood friend, Ryan, who I knew from age 3, lived in Austin. He moved down here when I moved down here a few years after. His mom and dad moved down here. Died of an infection from going to the hospital. All right, I'm ranting. You've been holding long enough. Tim in Connecticut, you're on the air. Thank you, sir. Are you calling in about government, Federal Reserve, banker, healthcare, a direct tax to them, or are you calling in about something else?
I'm calling about the healthcare.
Okay.
I've been following this all morning. I just had a couple quick things to say. They already control our money. I think this is going to be a little bit more having to do with the RFID chips. And the other thing I wanted to say is, did you see Charles Payne on Fox Business News? They had the enlarged $1 bill in the background and the little Illuminati owl right up in the corner. And every time he came on, it kept getting bigger and bigger. I mean, just throwing it right in our faces.
No, they're now, that's what's freaking me out. They're going, yeah, the UN kidnaps little kids. What's the big deal? Yeah, we put cancer viruses in your shots. Yeah, world government, you're a slave to the banks. And they're now saying it everywhere. And yeah, I see the symbolism. They put out an operation. They put out a new Katy Perry video that was clearly Operation Monarch Mind Control with all the programming and showing the little kids. I mean, it's just in our face. Look, the world's run by a bunch of lunatics. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I got two small kids. I have a 10 and a 12-year-old, and I fear for their future. Big time, I fear for it. They won't let my son go into 7th grade until he gets vaccinated. They keep sending letters home.
Sir, they have a waiver by law. There is no law, but by law they've got to give you the waiver to the policy. They are lying criminals. Have you heard me talk about that?
Yes, I have, and I keep telling my wife they are not getting vaccinated. I don't care.
Sir,
they've had enough shots.
Guys, type in Connecticut vaccine waiver form. I'll give you the name of the actual code from the health department. That's the eugenics department there to make sure you and your family get killed as quickly as possible. Look at who set up the health department. God bless you. Good to hear from you. Let's go to Sean in Tennessee. You're on the air. Thank you for holding.
Hey, how's it going, Alex?
Oh, not too good. I mean, they just closed the noose a lot tighter around our little necks.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to make 3 quick points, if you'll permit. I'm a former police officer. Number one, if Americans don't get their moral fabric back and repent, nothing's going to happen, but light will always overcome darkness. That's something I believe wholeheartedly. But the other thing is every citizen has the same arrest powers as every other police officer. And if a police officer is acting unlawfully or a TSA agent is acting unlawfully, you should arrest them. That's how you have to do it. You cannot ask criminals for your rights. You have to take them and exercise them, the same as the pro-gun carry law. As a police officer, if you're acting unlawfully and you're trampling the rights and violating your oath to the Constitution and your state, the citizens have a right to rebel against that lawfully and call a supervisor, put it on 911 or the 911 recording, and call for another jurisdictional agency. Like if you have to go against a city police officer, get a sheriff's department.
The point is a nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves, and they're doing their best to put criminals in everywhere or people that think we have no rights. And folks, have you noticed, since we got rid of the Bill of Rights and Constitution, it's getting dark real fast. What do you think of this whole healthcare thing?
Well, it's just, your last